and welcome to this session on Brits by the River. And it is my great pleasure and delight that Paul was joining us today. And this is really going to be a spotlight on the advanced certification that Paul is offering on the hands-on thinking coaching. But let me start. I'm David Newman. I'm one of the organizers for Brits by the River. And what is this? Well, it's 5 days of Lego Serious Play. And we're starting those days with certification training for those who aren't yet certified, want to be certified, or want to go through the training with someone else. And I've had interest in that area as well. We've got masterclasses, then workshops, unconference type sharing sessions. And then at the end, the last day, we've got the advanced certification. It's for Lego Serious Play method facilitators or people who are interested and haven't yet been trained. You can come along for this as well. In addition, this is an opportunity to experience the very dynamic Vietnamese culture. Ho Chi Minh City is a very dynamic city, and the wonderful Vietnamese food that you find there. We will also, for those who are looking for a bit more, we will be offering a curated Vietnam experience following the retreat. Where are we having this? So we're going to be based in the Saigon Riverside Hotel in Ho Chi Minh City, and this is our hotel beside the river. It's a 4-star hotel, so it's not quite at the top end, not the most expensive hotel, but it's one that is both good quality and I think accessible for most people. It's also close to the major attractions in the central city area of Saigon, so you're able to walk from there or take the metro to many of the attractions in the inner city area. This is just another view of it, looking down on Saigon, sort of at dusk. The hotel I've marked there in red, and you see one of the big esplanades about that. There's often events happening there at night at the weekend. We've got the Bitco Tower over there, sort of just up by my head there. There's a viewing platform on there that's about 5 minutes walk from the hotel. So there's a lot that we're going to be able to do aside from the retreat and the training. So the dates for this, it's 12th, 13th of April. So that's a Sunday and Monday. That's when we're doing the certification training for those who want to go through that. For come Lego Serious Play method facilitators. Then we get into the retreat, 14th and 15th, Tuesday and Wednesday. And this is where we've got the workshops and the master classes and conference sessions. Then on Thursday, and this is where Paul is offering his part of his certification. So where he's offering the first part of it on the Thursday, and there'll be a couple of Zoom classes that will follow that. But we'll be talking more about that a little bit later. Lanan and I will also be offering a team psychological safety practitioner training, and we will actually have a Zoom session prior to the in-person part. So we're going to do one session before, full day, and this is going to be with the bricks as well. So we're weaving the Lego Serious Play into it, and then there'll be another Zoom session after the in-day training. Paul will be offering, now I don't have this on the slide, but he's offering a second cohort on the Saturday in Ho Chi Minh City. So the training, the certification itself, so we've been joined by Miriam O'Donoghue. She's coming in from Ireland, a very experienced Lego Serious Play trainer and a very experienced facilitator. She trains facilitators in the top technology of participation methodology. So very seasoned, very well-known trainer. So you'll gain certification through LSP method. So this is with Michael Fern, and he may well make a guest appearance through the weekend as well. So on the first day of the certification training, this is where you get to experience a Lego Serious Play workshop as a participant. So we're going to go through the workshop during the day, and after each stage, each phase of that, we're going to step back and we're going to talk about what's just happened. We're going to pull it apart, and then what do you as a facilitator do? Why are you doing what you're doing during that part of session. So that's the first day. The second day, we're going to be looking at design. Actually, I talk about this in the following slides, but this is where we'll be touching on the systems, builds, we're looking at the design discussion, and you're going to have practice. So the retreat itself, this is going to be an opportunity for facilitators from all around the world to really experience some new tools and techniques and activities that you're going to be able to use in your sessions, along with connecting with other facilitators from around the world and other coaches who are using this. So there's going to be small group sessions. We are planning it so that typically there will be no more than 10 to 12 in any one session. And it's going to be a balance of learning with some local exploration. So in the evenings, we're going to be eating some wonderful Vietnamese food. I keep bringing that up. It's a highlight for many of the people who come and who joined us last year at Brits by the Beach. But there's a lot of connecting and networking as well. So some of the sessions we've planned. So we've got a zine coming in from Sri Lanka, and he does a lot of work with emotional intelligence and uses that now with Lego Serious Play. He's also a coach, and so he works on that side as well. In fact, he's trained as a hands-on thinking coach, I believe. So he's also gone through the training. We've got Miriam's going to be introducing the ORID framework, and this comes out of with technology participation, but it's actually a very useful, very powerful tool to be using at the end of your Lego Serious Play sessions. Paul is actually doing another session during the retreat, Thinkering Styles. I don't know, Paul, do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, sure. The Thinkery Styles is an activity that I've developed over the course of many years of sitting with and being with individuals and teams and just noticing that, and many of you, if you've already experienced Lego Serious Play, you've done a skills build activity and you've had some of those questions where you just noticed how you built that first build was how similar you tend to build other things. Well, I've taken that and really delved quite deep into creating a diagnostics that can begin a team coaching engagement, an individual coaching engagement that I use to help me learn about my clients, and of course them learn about how they construct their world.
Great, thank you. And Lanan's going to be doing a session on integrating Lego Serious Play into action learning. And she is an action learning coach and has been using it as part of her action learning coaching. Do you want to say anything about it, Lana?
Yeah. As a person who has been certified as an action learning coach, I find that action learning is very strong, it's very powerful in problem solving. So together with Lego Serious Play, we can help the process become easier and faster. So that's why I had an idea to combine the two methods together, and I already practice it, and also we had some session online. This we can do it online as well, and we had some section in person and online, and it was very successful, and people really like it. So I think this is somehow we should introduce to more people. Thank you.
And then thank you, Lana. So then Miriam's going to also introduce the duck. What the duck activity? I know not everyone has in some trainings, but it's not in everyone's training. So, and it's quite a powerful tool that she's going to be doing. We've got Dr. Nada Al Musa coming in from Oman, and she's going to be running a masterclass on using LSP to explore values within organizations, within the workplace. And this is something that she's been doing as part of her work. She has a set of cards that are going to be a part of this. We're hoping to have these cards for everyone who are participating in the conference. So again, this is another tool that people will be taking away. Some other activities, we've got a couple of other people who we're talking to who we haven't announced yet. We're just working out the details with them, but we're also going to have a session at the beginning that's really just building your name, building your connection. So you're going to be using Lego for nameplates. It's a short thing at the beginning. And we're also going to have a round table at the end, one of the last session on the Wednesday. It's really ask us anything about the business of LSP. And we've got a number of experienced facilitators, people running different forms of business around us. And so we're just going to have a very open discussion about it. Then we get to Thursday, and this is where Paul's going to be talking about at the moment, where we've got both the certified hands-on thinking coach. We've got Paul takes a maximum of eight people for that coaching, that session, and we're going to, Lana and I will do the team psychological safety practitioner training. We'll take up to 12 on that one.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much, David. So in just a moment, I am going to invite Lanan to engage in a brief coaching demo using the liminal spaces coaching framework. And before we do that, I want to invite anybody here to participate in a bit of an experiential activity to just start to get the idea of 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 some of the tenets of the liminal spaces framework, which I will explain a bit more before we have this very brief but hopefully impactful coaching demo. So Lanan, we're probably about 6-7 minutes away, just to give you a heads up. So I'm going to share my screen, and if you've been in a space with me before, you'll know that I use I use a little different method of presentation. I use a mural whiteboard. So you see our whole learning journey here today, and I will share more about the specifics of the training in just a moment. But like I said, I did want to start off with an experiential activity, and we're gonna use some digital bricks. I definitely prefer using physical bricks, but as we work across distances, we have to change a little bit about how we work. And one of the things that I've done is do a little bit more work with digital bricks to see how we can engage maybe not our hands, but our hand-mind connection, definitely our eyes, and hopefully what is kinesthetic to us. So I'm going to start off with I know I know for a fact at least over half of us here are trained in LSP, so I'm going to start off very easy with a thing. When I'm running my trainings, I often share first in order to learn Lego Serious Play, first we must build a thing, because things is how we build with Lego or with anything else in all of our lives. So things make sense, but so first we must build a thing before we can expand on the notion of what truly is Lego Serious Play, which is building our thoughts, building our ideas, building our emotions. So, um, I'm going to start off here, and I'm going to move a brick into the space. And I would just love anybody to come off of mute or share in chat. What thing could that be? No wrong answers.
For me, a rain hat.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. What else could it be? And for somebody else?
A Lego Series Play session.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Okay. All right. So we build a thing. But next what I want is for somebody else, and it could be anybody who's already shared, and I want you to choose. You can and I'm gonna be your hands here. I want you to think of a value or an emotion or a sensation or just something that is not tangible, but that we're going to make tangible. You can use one or two bricks to describe that, a value or an emotion from any of these bricks.
I will choose the red one. Is
So
my like positive energy.
positive energy.
Yeah,
And did you say like or light? I
that's one is okay.
yeah. And you said red. How red is positive energy for you, Lana?
Actually, in Vietnam, the red is represent for something happiness. You see, in the
Mm,
wedding ceremony or something like that, or the New Year holidays, we often decorate the house with red. So that is the positive energy.
okay.
Mm.
So we've already just noticed just what connections we're making, and I'm doing this activity, yes, because we're understanding a bit more about how we can make distinctions on color, have how just even a color brings about a certain story, but also it could be about the size and the shape or what it might feel to hold in your hand, and so to lean on this felt I heard positive, so my assumption. And well, let me actually ask you, Lanon, if you were to hold that brick in your hand, thinking about what you've already shared, how, what would it weigh? What would it feel like to hold that in your hand?
Mm. I will put it in the stick, the one next to the yellow bar.
Okay.
Yes, that's one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will put like that.
like that.
Yes, and I
Okay.
hold it. I hold it from that one.
Ah.
Mm.
So, what has it turned into now that you have added the stick and you're holding it up? Is it a,
Actually, because I am familiar with Lego, so I
of course.
think the other stick, the black one would be okay. No, yes,
Ah,
but I don't like that. But I don't like that because it's so thin. I want something more stable and
ah.
firm, So
And if you were holding this in your hand and waving it around and it had some words on it, what would it say?
mm, future.
Hmm. What's is is
That
there a
is
connection between positivity and future for you?
Yeah, because actually. I think that I will share it later with my
Sure.
my
Yes.
session, but I can share now because actually, I have moved here in Canada for 4 months, and that is very important for me. Everything is new for me, and I have to learn a lot to get to be adapt with the
Sure.
new environment. So that is very important for me, and I want to keep me motivated and like the positive energy every day to keep me moving on.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. We're gonna keep moving on. And I'm just going to give a very brief explanation of the theory. And so what you'll notice, I call this liminal spaces framework. I'll explain why in a moment. But what I also want you to notice is that it is a coaching theory with Lego bricks. So I'm often asked, well, I learned Lego Serious Play already. Why might I need to learn this? And I say, listen, I fully understand. If you've already understand Lego Serious Play and you coach, you just merge them together. That's what I did, 8 years ago when I first did it. But then I spent a few thousand hours after that thinking a bit more deeply. And what I actually came up with is this notion that yes, this is a Lego Serious Play coaching framework, but more than anything, this is an object play coaching theory. And what I mean by that is that you can, and I encourage you to learn this and use Lego bricks, but you don't just need Lego bricks to understand and learn this, to utilize this theory. And so the framework is built off of three tenets. One is phenomenology, and I'll explain more about what that is. A very long word. The hand-mind connection, which many of us already have a somewhat of an idea of, and then meaning making and metaphors, which we also study a bit in the Lego Serious Play facilitation training. And so this notion of the liminal space between what is and what if, that I happen to believe is where all amazing coaching lies, in that liminal space, which I will share more about in a moment. So phenomenology. I used three different theories that we will delve not really, really deep into because they are trainings in and of themselves, but I will explain to you how I take these three different frames and use them in this theory. So one is Gestalt theory. That is at the basis of so much of this framework. Gestalt uses notions of what is happening in the here and now, understanding what we see and how it forms an understanding of how we make sense of the world. We also utilize systemic constellations. If any of you have heard of that or noticed that, that is just how we map and understand how we relate to the rest of the world using objects that sometimes are physical, sometimes, as we just saw in the slide above, could be digital. Finally, we also add clean language, and clean language at the basis is a way to use metaphor to ask questions that are much simpler and much more focused on what is happening, that is emergent. What the phenomenology, excuse me, I can say the word, is at the core of it is just noticing what is emergent and understanding that we are constantly changes. As a coach, I know that my client is different at the beginning of the session than they are at the end of the session. And so, knowing that they are different, I also can be curious about how their bricks may iterate over time. We also delve quite deeply into the three overlapping categories of conceptual metaphors, specifically the orientational metaphor, which allows us to understand our place of where we are and understand the relationship between where we are and where we want to go. And so, in terms of the theory, we delve quite deeply, but don't spend too much time in each one because I just give you the essence of each of these, and putting it all together like Lego bricks, it forms the liminal spaces theory. And of course, we also take constructionism, which forms the foundation of so much of Lego serious play, and then embodied cognition, what we sense from within, and then also this notion of our gestures and how our gestures allow us to form our thoughts. That we actually think that, we're told that when we use gestures that maybe it's that we're being sloppy with our hands, but actually gestures actually allow us to make sense of the thoughts that are coming towards us. And I share more about how to understand what our clients may be thinking through their gestures and how they are with their Lego bricks. And so, Lanan, in just a moment, I'm going to invite you in, but I want to share with you and to the rest this notion of what truly is a liminal space. Well, liminal it's Latin for the threshold. Liminality is a psychological term. I was a psychotherapist before moving into coaching many years ago. So much of what I've developed comes from my experience as a therapist, a Gestalt and humanistic therapist. But of course, it does focus through the coaching lens. But liminality is that psychological process of transitioning across boundaries and borders. So I happen to believe that in all great coaching, when a contract is formed, a liminal space is born. It is that space between what is and what if. It is a transitional space. It happens with or without bricks. It just so happens that when we use bricks in this process, we can see the liminal space and we can ask questions of it. And so through this reflective process, we see the client iterate and transform their thoughts and ideas through this Lego build. I'm sharing this other piece because this is what I shared with Lanan before the coaching session started. I just asked them to move their thoughts into their hands and to build what was on their mind. That question is often challenged in coaching because it's too broad. It says it allows our clients to get into story and wherever they want to go, and I think that is a-okay because we can only build so much at a time. And sometimes when we just allow our thoughts to just flow, things emerge. And so Lanan has built what is on their mind, and we're going to see what happens with about 15, 20 minutes of coaching. So I'm going to stop share. I'm going to spotlight Lanan. And Lanan, I'm going to ask you a couple questions before we get started. Is that all right?
Yeah, thank you.
So if I encourage everybody, feel free to leave your cameras on, but please, if you're, I see everybody's muted here, so we're good. So I'm gonna invite you to use your hands and share what is on your mind at this very moment. I also invite you to have other bricks with you. Those are your other thoughts and ideas. So with what you've created, I encourage you to iterate, to move your bricks if you feel inclined. Just like I would never tell you to stop your thought mid-thought, I encourage you to change what you have built if you feel inclined. And also, do you give me permission to ask questions about the build? Maybe even invite you to bring a brick or see what it may be like to move a brick on your artifact. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. My last question. I saw what you built and I see you have minifigure Lana on there somewhere on the build. Yeah? Is that what we could call them, or what name should we give minifigure Lana? We can give them any name you want. You get to pick it.
Can I show that here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I presume one of them is you, right?
Yes, here is
Yeah.
me. It's me here.
Just tell me then. Just give her a name. Any
Mm.
name. It just can't be your name. We can call her minifigure Lanan. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, Lanan. Yes, me.
Can it be minifigure Lanan? But I'm also gonna be asking questions to minifigure Lanan. Can we call them minifigure Lanan? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Okay. We got it. Okay. So whenever you're ready, using your finger or using your pen, whatever you'd like,
Mhm.
tap and talk and tell us what's on your mind.
Okay, so I will share my model, and
Please.
this is also my story and challenge that I want Paul to help me solve it today. Okay, so you see here it is me and minifigure Lanan. We just clarify. And I just moved to Canada for 4 months with my husband and my children. And however, I have a very difficult situation now. Some months just before I left the country in Vietnam to move here, my mother became very sick. And here is the part of my family in Vietnam. So you can see here, this is the part of the family in Vietnam, and this is my family now in Canada.
Mm.
Yeah, and here's my mother. My parents, actually, here is my father. He's sitting here because he is very old and my mother is sick. they are not living together. They also got divorced just some years before yeah, just some years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the situation is become more challenging because now my mother is living with my younger brother, and he just got divorced as well. And he had a very serious accident long time ago, and is not really healthy in the way he thinks, something like that. So my mother is really taking care of him, and that's why. Okay, because the situation became more serious, and for me it's very difficult because I am the one who support my family in Vietnam. I am the main the I'm the eldest child in the family, and I support the family financially and also other things. But now when I move here, so everything like especially that emotional support or spiritual support is also very important for my parents and family here. It is not just only about the financial support, but also they feel safer, they feel happier if I'm there, something like that. So but that is the difficulty, the challenge. But here also in Canada, I have my I already left the job. I already stopped everything in Vietnam and moved here in Canada, and I have new opportunities, and I'm working very hard for that. And here's my children is the I have to be here to take care of my son as well because he is attending the university, but for him it's also very important to have me there, not for cooking but for supporting him emotionally and other things. So this is my challenge. I have the heart here, so you
Mm.
can see the heart, I put it here. It's like I am in between. And this is the ocean between Vietnam and Canada. So I'm here just emotionally, and everything is here, but my heart is somewhere like that. And I'm really worried about my parents, my family, because I know that they are becoming older and sick, and I don't think that I will have more years living with them. So that is the challenge. I don't want to regret the
Mm.
time being with my parents. But if I leave that, also the future of my son is, and also with my husband here, the family is also very important.
Yeah.
So that is the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned regret. Do
Yeah.
do we see regret in the build somewhere? And if not, would
Mhm.
you,
Mm,
if you're inclined, could you find regret?
yeah. Can I try something and add in this?
Absolutely. Only if you feel like it would help you
Yeah.
understand more about what's happening right now.
Okay. Just this is just the
Mm.
regret. So actually, in if you can see here in
Mhm.
this, I feel happy to be here. Honestly, I
Yeah,
feel happy to be in Canada
I
with the new
believe you.
life and everything, but I still have the regrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm seeing it,
Okay, I can put it like that. It's okay.
yeah,
It's attaching to me. So
yeah. But I'm noticing now the way you had to attach regret was to put it on top of the happiness. What meaning? What meaning are
um
you making from that?
yeah, actually, I wanted to put in my hand.
Sure.
This is actually I am having if I can put the happiness and the regret in my two hands, so I will do like this. I will hold two
Mm.
things. Yeah.
How how heavy is that regret
Yeah, so
at the same
heavy.
time?
Even yeah. Uh, I am a very how to say, a very emotional person. I think so. I am a family person. So how to say, I want to keep the good memories with the people that I love.
Yeah. So in our short time together, I know I heard you say, and we see your heart is somewhere.
Yeah.
What is the question that you're trying to maybe not answer fully, but get a little bit further along on in our time together? If it was a question, what might it be?
Mm, Actually, okay. So this time is very important for me, and also I am also very busy to set up the. I want to have the firm knowledge about the new country, and also I want to take any opportunity so that I can be more stable in Canada. So I don't want. So if I have how to say, if I live here for long time, maybe I can spend some months going back there with my parents. But because now I need to focus on my career here as well and our business here. So that's why it's very difficult for me to make the decision. And like every week when I call my parents, see how they are responded and sad about the situation there, because they are very sad about the divorce of my brother as well.
Sure.
So yeah, so I feel sorry for them. At least if I'm there, so I can encourage them, motivate them a little bit, but I'm too far. So
Yeah. I noticed you pushing down on the blue bricks a few times.
the
What does that mean as
you mean this
yeah,
one?
you've been touching those,
Yeah.
pushing them and touching them. What's coming up for you as you touch that? I'm assuming that's the ocean. Yeah, that's the
Yeah, this
Pacific.
is the ocean, the distance. The
Yeah. So you brought in regret, and I even hesitated to ask you to bring that in, but you brought it in, and you shared that while we don't see it exactly, I'm picturing minifigure Lanan with one hand on happiness and one hand on regret.
Mm,
If and if you can you just turn it a little bit so that you can see minifigure Lanan? Yeah, yeah, just like that is fine. And if she was holding happiness in one hand and regret in the other hand, and she were to share some wisdom with you, what might she say?
mm. When I turn this, actually, there is something.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
What happened?
When I put this way,
Yeah.
before it's like this, but when I turn this, the regret is more about this side.
Mm,
So I think that even even I decide to move back to Vietnam, its regret could be from this side. So the regrets, it will always happen. Something, before it could be like this, is move, the regret is more from the Vietnam side. But
yeah.
if I move this, it's turned like this. So I think that, so if I change this, if I find some way to, because I cannot split myself between
Mm,
Vietnam and Canada, so it will happen anyway, like if I go there, I will regret what is happening in Canada. So anyway, I will live with the regrets like that. But okay, I didn't explain to you this one. I
yeah.
realized that I didn't explain to you this one. This is a chain. Actually, I
Yeah.
find it and I see it like the responsibility. This
Mm.
actually, I also didn't explain to you the two things. Actually, here you see I put
I
the
was
trees.
curious about them, but for time, but please, yeah.
Yeah,
What are they, what meaning are you making from them now?
yeah, actually, these are two sides, and the number of the peoples are also the same because
Mm,
I take the responsibility, and also I am living with the same numbers of the people like this. But you see, when I put, if you can see, the two sides are very different. Here is more colorful, more energy, and more about the future. But here I also put the black, this is the fear of the family, and this is
mm,
the chain is lighter responsibility. It's very heavy, really. And honestly, I think as a person, we have to accept, like we have the good thing and the bad things that we have to handle every day. uh okay, so this is just to explain more about this. And
yeah.
I think, okay, so this one thing I already talked about before, not only now, but I think that because there I also have my sisters. They are not here because they got married and they live with their family, so I don't put them here. But you know, like the responsibility, I was the one who took on the responsibility of my family. So now
Yeah.
maybe I can take it out and give it to them, not only me. Maybe can I put something here?
You can do
Yeah,
whatever you want.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So
I
maybe
can for time's sake, we'll wrap up in just a moment,
yeah,
but please, yeah, bring your, I assume your sisters.
yeah, okay. So actually okay, I don't know. They also have a difficulty in their family. Like, when I was in Vietnam, I had a good job and I had good earnings. So I am the only one who support my parents. But now I think that financially I still can support, but taking care my parents, I need to talk with them to spend more time with my parents so that they can feel better. So and then I also I never talked to them about this, and we never discussed about this, and they just that before I left the country, my mother lived with me in another town. So now I moved to Canada. She come back to my hometown and living with my brother. So they have been familiar with taking care of my parents is my responsibility. So maybe I think this is, if somebody can take care of my parents, so maybe I will feel better. I will feel better. And yeah, it could be. But because I never talk with them seriously. I never, I never speak straightly to them that responsibility to take care of the parents is belonging to them as well, not only from me, only, not only me, the one who have to take care of them.
Yeah. So what is it that you and minifigure Lanan needs in order to have this conversation with your sister or sisters?
Mm. Okay, so yeah, I I they are also I have a one brother and two sisters, and they are also very busy. They also don't have like the good income or earnings to support my parents financially. But they also have some their own troubles with the family as well. So I
Sure.
just want them to, I just want them to be happy. I don't want them to think too much about parents, because I can support them, but maybe I think now is the time to talk to them seriously about the responsibility of everyone in the family.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And
but
I heard you say acceptance,
uh,
and now is the time.
yeah,
If if you were to find, I don't know that I noticed acceptance in the artifact or in the build. If you were to change it so that we could see minifigure Lanan with acceptance, or maybe you need to find acceptance and bring it in, how would the build change?
yeah, I have it here. I
Okay.
think this,
So if you can just share what is that change,
yeah, this one is
and
the,
and share your learning for this reflection.
yeah. So, I think that being accept the situation is very important. So I put it here, the turning brick, or like this. It could be like we don't need to, we have to keep balance between the family, and just accept what it is. And sometime if necessary, maybe I still uh I think, yeah, I just realize now maybe overthinking. my parents are my parents are sick, they are old, but they are still there. They need to handle the situation uh by themselves. And one lesson that I learned long time ago, but I forgot it to apply in this situation. That's, I can share another story. I hope that it will not take a lot of time. But
Briefly
like,
for
yeah, for Vietnamese people, we as the women, we have to, like, it is our responsibility to make people happy. People people in the family to be happy. And that is somehow I find that I didn't live my own life for a long time. So that's why I decided to move to another city, even when I
sure.
was in Vietnam, and I lived my life. So now I think that's I now I nobody asked me to take that responsibility. I just take it by myself, because I see that that is my responsibility to make my parents happy and support them financially and emotionally, like that. It is that is all about myself because I take it. Nobody even asked me to do that. And because my time, it becomes my responsibility, and people in my family also think that that is my job to do. It's not their job anymore. So I think that's yeah.
But when
So
you remember this and feel it, I can hear it. I think we can all hear you remembering this. What what happened to that regret? How does that regret change, if at all? And if you want to
oh
move it in some way or change it,
yeah, now I think actually if I keep this as my regret, that is this is my decision. But I'm thinking now, if I change this and I accept it, the regret should be shared to everyone, not only me. Because I think that now if I don't tell my siblings about, they also have to take the responsibility to my parents, for my parents, they will get the regret later. And that will be very, that's will be not easy for them
how
because
could how could you and we see that what you just said, sharing regret? What would you if you can move the regret so that
it
it's shared?
shared it.
That's what you said that you wanted to do, yeah?
Mm. Yeah, I think I will not put it on myself anymore. Let me find something. I don't know. But I don't think
Mhm.
that I put the regret here, honestly.
Okay.
I don't need to put it anymore because if we all take the responsibility for the family issue, then we don't regret it. Why? I still can support them. I still can support my parents. I don't need to be there physically, right? I can find another way to support them. And my siblings, they also find a way to support them. So I think maybe I don't need that anymore. I don't need to put it here in the model anymore.
Okay. If you'd like to turn the camera up so we can see you as you finish here. I know. Any last words for yourself?
Mm.
Just briefly, because we're
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I think that is the being wise. This is being wise. I think this is the lesson that I learned in the past, but I now somehow I didn't think about that. That's I have to live for my life, and also we in life we have to handle with the good thing and the bad things. So this is the challenge in life that everyone have to overcome emotionally, and yeah. So yeah. And don't take everything personally.
well, Lanan, thank you for allowing us to see what you have been living into and with, and I am uh, grateful that you you allowed the regret to leave the system for a bit. So I'm
Okay,
grateful for you.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much. So,
Thank you for
I realized that we went quite a bit over with the time that we wanted to with that, but that was it was a session that needed to be tended to. So I'm grateful for you bringing that in, Lanan. Um, I'm open. David and I are open for answering questions right now. David, you want to share your screen if you have anything else? And I'm grateful to be able to be in space. I'm happy to answer questions specifically about what just happened briefly, but really more focused on what to expect with the training.
yeah.
I will just say the 1 day of training, it's a 17-hour training. The one full day of the training is the first half almost, and then we're going to meet virtually for another 2 half days. But it is a coach training, continuing education, ICF levels, if that makes any meaning for you. So we have a coach practicum, which actually means that you have a kit for your first client to coach them. You record the session. We both have, you write a reflection, I evaluate it, and that's what gets you the distinction of a certified hands-on thinking coach. I can tell you, everybody passes as long as you don't throw Lego bricks at your client. That is how this works. If you just take through the steps, it's about the learning. It isn't about pass fail. It's really just about practice. So.
Okay, I will, if there aren't any other questions, let me just go to the last little part where I'm going back to Brits by the River and Paul joining us in Vietnam. And so what is in the invest? So at the beginning, I talked about the training, I talked about the retreat, and then the advanced certification. So for the facilitator training, we do still have the early bird price running till Tet, till Lunar New Year, 2,100. And this is covering, the lunches, the dinners, training manual, Lego. You're going to get a starter kit as part of that. The LSP method book from Michael Fern. And so all this is included in that price. We do go to a retreat, which is Tuesday and Wednesday. It's $1,500. That's the early bird price. Again, that's covering everything. And it's going to include some of the materials, so things like the cards, in particular sessions. You're going to be able to have materials you can take away with you to use in your sessions afterwards. And then the advanced certification. So I'm not sure what your normal price is, Paul, but we've got a special deal for people who are joining us here in Ho Chi Minh City. And this early bird price is running till 16th, again, till 16th of February. And this is true whether you're doing it as part of Brits by the Beach or on the Saturday following. That's the early bird price. Do you want to say anything about that at all, Paul?
No, I welcome you to ask me any deeper questions. The reason the price is what it is that while there is the synchronous learning that does happen with the group, this does come with 1 full hour of mentor coaching, which qualifies, and a 30-minute consultation, and also a full evaluation from me. So I'm taking quite a bit of time to listen and learn and understand where your strengths and areas of development are, to be able to give you that feedback back. So yes, there is that synchronous virtual or in person and then virtual learning. The real learning comes from the practice, going out and coaching a client, and then just like with the ICF, sending a recording and then having an assessment with a specific evaluation that I have developed that delves into the different aspects of what you just saw today. There was a method to a lot of the questions that I asked, and a lot of that I will be sharing deeper in the training.
All right, thank you. And if you're wanting to combine them, now you don't have the advanced certification combined in this bundle, but if you want to do that, we can talk about that. But for the training and the retreat, 2,700 for the 4 days. And so you're getting the full certification along with a lot of master classes and other value in there. Because we're over time, I'm just jumping through this. I will just drop into chat some links. So that should be, you should also see that on the screen if you want to screen capture the links. But also just feel free, email us if you want to explore any of this further. I'm very happy to get on Zoom or Paul can get on either of us or Lana, any one of us can get on Zoom and to talk more about what this experience will be. So I just wanted to say thank you for joining us. And if there are any further, okay, I just mentioned Brits by the Beach. So this was back in Da Nang last year. Some of the images from that, and yeah, Da Nang was a wonderful venue. Ho Chi Minh City, and where we're going to be beside the river. Again, it's another wonderful venue. With that, I just want to say thank you. We finished our session for this evening, and thank you, Paul and Lainan, for providing us with that example of how hands-on thinking coaching works.